I decided to do my project over teaching affixes to fourth graders. Um, the process, the system I invented was the fundamentals of learning, URA: understand, recognize, apply. In the understanding stage, students will learn how to define affixes, define prefixes, define suffixes, and start to really understand how they work and understand and look for them, and being able to be able to go to the recognize stage. At this stage, students start to learn affixes in fourth grade, while some started in second grade or third grade. Students in this stage are considered intermediate readers, and students at this stage start to explore and understand more informational text. The teaching activity I have laid out on slide 6 is the pictures. And what I decided to do was I created a suffix locator and a prefix locator. And basically, this assignment will take 3 days to complete. Each day, students will write in their journal about either whatever prefix or suffix that they hear. At the end of the 3 days, the students will come back together in pairs of 2 and talk about where they found their word, how they found their word, to build connections between those words and phonological awareness. While the teacher is helping the students create this in the journal, she should really be asking them a couple questions like this. What is an affix? What is a prefix and where does it go? What is a suffix and where does it go? The teacher should be creating at least 2 examples showing where the prefix and suffix goes. So like in the word unhappy, separating the UN from happy, or camping, and separating the ing from camp. Then the next thing they could ask would be, who can tell me the suffix in the word camping? Obviously, it does not have to be camping, but this question needs to be repeated at least 4 times. Who can tell me the prefix in the word unhappy? Obviously, it doesn't have to be unhappy, but needs to be repeated at least 4 times. And then after those questions, like follow-up questions should be this to every one of those questions. What do you think camping means, or what do you think your word that you talked about means? It's very important that we get those questions through. All right, so basically now we move on to the recognize stage. In the recognize stage, students will start to understand common and uncommon affixes, and students will start to build a pretty good vocabulary on understanding affixes. Students will be able to make connections and define words that have affixes in them, using context clues, the dictionary, and iPads. And basically the activity I have set up for the students, students will be given a prefix or suffix sheet. It basically will be a cheat sheet. It's on slide 10. It kind of helps them identify which suffix is here, what suffix is there, so whenever they see them, they can write them down, or what they think that they see them. Students will work in groups of 4, and they will read, each student will have a different book to read, and I just decided to put Magic Tree House on there. Students will take turns reading each page. So, and students should also not be expected to finish the book, because this is not the goal. That's not what we're trying to work on here. Students will use their suffix or prefix sheet while reading to recognize affix words. Once a word has been found, students will write the word in their journal and use context clues to define the word. Students may also check their work by using a dictionary or an iPad. Students must write down the page number that they found that on, so that I can go back and look at it as a teacher. So the teacher at this step should be walking around the classroom assisting other students. The teacher should be checking groups and making sure they're not cheating. And the activity is for students to explore together to help educate each other. Then we're going to move over to the apply stage. This apply stage is really for assessing students. So basically, during this apply stage, students should be able to understand and recognize affixes. Students should be able to build a bigger affix vocabulary, make more connections. But this stage also allows the teacher to recognize where her students are at or where his students are at. The activity I decided to do for this stage is pretty simple. It's only going to take one day. Students should receive a writing affix worksheet, and that's on slide 12. You can see. Basically, they're going to take words from the word bank and make sentences. This is on their own. They're not allowed to go have help or anything like that. They have to create as many sentences as they can using the words from the word bank. So that way I can know and I can see that they're learning and they're able to use affix words properly and recognize them as well. And that was my presentation.